Fantastic. You've got pole.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Hamilton, Bottas and Max Verstappen. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow. Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit. Any moment now, our drivers will take to the track and the Bahrain Grand Prix will begin. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36-mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn one. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Albon, Sergio Perez and Ricciardo, Leclerc, Norris, Gasly and Carlos Sainz, Stroll, Vettel, Esteban Ocon and Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Kimi Raikkonen and George Russell, Magnussen and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Keep pushing. Let's capitalize on that first lap. work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. First position, front of the pack. That's Valtteri behind. Okay, the gap behind is 2.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. This is your final lap of the race. You're pulling away by about half a second a lap. We've got an opportunity to look after the car here. Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Well, for me it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Hamilton, Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to let
Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. DRS is now enabled. Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. You're pulling out a second lap on the car behind. This is your final lap of the race. Nice work, that's P1. Race win. Well done.
A fantastic team effort to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today? Once again, it's podium time, and once again, it's a clear win for Renault. Renault have seen their fair share of success in Formula One, and today is proof that they've still got what it takes to thrill us all. Congratulations to everyone on the team. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Difficult call.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three. Schwartzman, Sato and Pedro Piquet. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action, and until then, goodbye. Hello and welcome back to a classic circuit familiar to fans the world over. This is Monza. You can hear the cars ready to go. Certainly the fans are ready for some action. We're all set, so let's get this Formula 2 race underway. Monza is one of the fastest circuits in Formula 2, comprising some very long straights and tight chicanes. The engine spends so long at full throttle, in fact, that engine failures are not an uncommon sight here. On top of that, the 3.6 miles of track, pretty hard on the gearbox too. Turn 1 at Monza is famous, or should I say infamous, for serious contact and incidents, especially on the opening lap. What are your thoughts on that, Davide?
Yes, this chicane is a tricky one. A lot of time you see the more experienced drivers hold back from full throttle to keep themselves safe as everyone tries to squeeze into the racing line after the opening straight.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Robert Schwartzman lines up on pole position, with Marino Sato alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Piquet, Ilott, Nikita Mazepin, and Matsushita, Ticktum, Lundgaard, Deruvala, Marcus Armstrong, Markelot, Joe, Giuliano Alesi, and Galeo, Schumacher, Tsunoda, Samaya, and Felipe Dragovic, Delatraz, and Luca Giotto, Aitken, and Roy Nissany completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
The start was fine. Let's try and move forward. job, nice overtake. This is your final lap of the race. The car behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Yes, that's a podium. Excellent drive. The team have worked especially hard this weekend, and this is a fantastic reward.
A great win then for the Trident team today. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be Trident picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for coming out on top in that amazing race. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
Difficult call, but I say Marino Sato. He was committed the entire race, and it's paid off with the result.
Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.